Hey, 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 happy Friday, y'all. Guess who's here with me? It's my beautiful sister, Kesia from the West Coast. West Coast meet the East Coast tonight, guys. Look, I'm in a hoodie or sweater. She's in a t-shirt. Can you tell that we're on two different?
It's hot in Cali. It's hot.
It's hot in Cali, and you spicy in Cali. Thank you for being here, Kesia.
Oh, thank you for having me. Such a privilege.
You're so welcome. So, guys, tonight we have a really amazing chat for you. For those of you that do not know me, I am Natasha M. Rivera, affectionately known as Coach Natasha M. I am a lifestyle strategist. I help women unapologetically redesign their lives, prioritize their health and well-being through faith, freedom, and fitness. I am the creator of my online Facebook group, Be Free Society, and I am the owner of Girltude Collection. It is my my statement t-shirt and shirt line. So I'm excited to be here with you tonight. We're super excited to pour into you. Like I said, my girl Kesia Kamini is here all the way from Cali, and she is here to share her gut health journey and endometriosis journey. And I'm going to pass the mic to Kesia so she can introduce herself, because y'all know I don't think anyone can introduce themselves better than they can. Go ahead, sis, take the mic.
Okay. Well, I am Kesia, and I am from Cali, and I'm a senior gold ambassador, and I'm currently going to medical school to be a naturopathic doctor. That is a new journey for me. And so, I'm also a really good person in reading ingredients.
That's important.
Ingredient snob, and I just come as I am. This is who I am.
Amen. That's it. We do real over here. We do real in real life. So again, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate everyone that's tuning in live and everyone that will watch the replay. We really hope that you leave with some new information, some gems, and some things that will help you in the future or in the now with your life, with your health. So you're in for a treat. Just stick around and hang tight with us. So I like to give a little story about how I met all of my guests. And Kesia and I have a really interesting story.
Me too. I love it.
We both work outside of all the things that I explained earlier. I am also a gold ambassador like Kesia with Plexus. And we met last November of 2023 on a cruise that we earned to Haiti. And we were in, my husband and I were there, and her husband and her were there. And we were all the way in the back of the terminal waiting to board the ship. And her husband comes down. It was hot in there. There was a lot of people, and it was really hot. And her husband comes along, and he just asks us, he says, "Hey, you want some water?" And we really wanted water. And, Kesia just kind of like walked off.
Yes.
She walked off. She didn't want no parts, right? And her husband stayed and he talked to us and, some of the other people that were there that I didn't know until that moment. And so it was really, really nice. And Kesia started warming up to me. The next thing you know, we were taking pictures and, What you about to say, Kesia?
No, I remember it's going to be literally a year in November. Like, next month, it's going to be, a year that we met. Like, it's hard to believe that it's almost been a year.
Time is flying, right? And I just want to say that in the year's time, you have been just an amazing friend, someone that I've never met before, and you have really just grown into like a sister to me. And I just really appreciate you. I love you. I love our conversations that we have. You always make time, and we're on two different time zones. Because what is it, 3 o'clock there, and then 6 o'clock here?
Yeah.
And you always make the time. And I hope that I'm as good of a friend to you as you are to me.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
You.
Yes. You know how I feel about you. You're my sister. You're like hardcore sister. Like, it's like a sister I've always needed, I don't know. We were meant to be. We were meant to be.
We were meant
to run into each other at that ship because we've been inseparable ever since.
Right. And we hung out the husbands clicked and we clicked and we hung out that entire trip. And then we saw each other again when we went to, gosh, where did we
Punta
go?
Cana. Went to Punta Cana. Yes.
Yeah. And we hung out the whole trip there. So it looks like when we get together, we are together, all four of us. And it's just a really amazing time and just a really great people. So guys, tonight we are going to be talking about Kesia's gut health and endometriosis journey. So Kesia, and listen guys, so many people have this. They may not know they have it. They may know they have it. They may not know what to do, all the things. So we're just here to educate. And Kesia is a wealth of knowledge concerning this. And she's going to get right into it. So Kesia, why did you start your gut health journey?
I started my gut health journey because I literally 2 years ago, I was not in my best health. It was signs that I was not in my best health was I was getting eczema and psoriasis in my, all over my body. It started off behind my ear. It started like just certain parts of my body. And I had a lot of inflammation. And even though I had a hysterectomy thinking that the endometriosis was going to go away, it did not. It actually came back. And my body was just literally fighting within itself. The pain was still there. I was like, I felt so tired and so weak that it was literally my skin was reacting to how I was feeling. And so that was the moment where, something had to change. And in all honesty, it wasn't even me that found plexus. It was my husband. So this just so happened to fall in his lap, and he's just nudged at me and said, "Hey, check this out, give this a try." And I was like, "What's plexus?"
Thank God for the husband.
And plexus had been around for, gosh, at that time, like 14 years, because they're celebrating 16 years. So it was 14 years when I first found out what plexus was about. And I literally had never heard of plexus. I didn't even know it existed until, husband's social medias and, following people. And he's like, "Hey, like that caught his eye." And he's like, "Check it out, like really check it out." And I was like, I don't even know, like this could be another scam. Like, and I literally have tried everything. Like I knew gut health was important. I did. And so I would go to the vitamin store and get them refrigerated. And those puppies cost like $60, $70. Okay. And so I knew that they needed to be refrigerated. I knew that, I knew that it was going to work, but I was going to get something from the shelf. That I figured if it was going to work, it was going to come from the fridge, right? So I didn't see the full benefits of it because it would work a little bit, but I was still having issues, a lot of issues. Nothing was working, but I still took it. And again, I just, one day, it took a whole month for my husband to convince me to sign up. And he's like, have you gotten in contact with, this person? Because this person, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, and finally I was like, you know what? If I order it, will you leave me alone?
For real.
I was like, will you leave me alone if I just order it? Like, and I literally up to that point I was thinking, I'm just gonna order it. I don't know that it's gonna work. That literally that was my mindset. Whatever, and I ordered it, and I was going to Disneyland when that package came, and I started in Disneyland.
Wow. So you didn't even wait.
I didn't. I was like, I got the package and I opened it and I said, okay. And I read it, and I'm like, okay, this makes sense. Weed, seed, and feed, right? I knew it made sense to me. And I was like, okay, like, you know what? And I was desperate, Natasha. I was desperate. I was desperate to feel better. I was desperate to just to have some sort of relief, even if I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have any pain anymore. That was going to be huge, right?
Right.
Um, and I looked at the box and I said, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. I'm really going to give this a try, and I'm going to see if this is going to work. And I'm going to prove my husband ain't going to work.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
And how many years later?
2 years. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. If he wants me to do this, I'm going to do it. I'm going to see what it does. And I'm going to prove him wrong. I'm going to prove him wrong that it doesn't work. Right. And I knew I had this trip to go, and I was thinking, you know, a sponsor was like, you know, you might end up going to the bathroom, you might have some detox. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do this in Disneyland. I'm just going to do it.
All in.
My family will tell you what happened in Disneyland.
Oh man, I can imagine what happened in Disneyland.
I had a lot of detox. Anyway, so yeah, I started in Disneyland, and I started noticing I want to say within a couple of days, I was like, why am I going to the bathroom more? Mind you, I wasn't going to the bathroom quite often. I was like, why am I going to the bathroom a lot? I wasn't used to it. I was like, listen, I would be the type of person that would go to the bath, and if I didn't have coffee, I wasn't going to the bathroom.
That's a stimulant. And you know what, Kesia? So many people think that coffee makes you use the bathroom. It doesn't. It's just a stimulant. It does this, and it stimulates your anus. Like, that's all that coffee does. Coffee doesn't give you energy. Coffee doesn't do all of that stuff. It just literally makes you percolate a little bit. But anyway, but so many people are living with chronic constipation. But go ahead, because you realized that you were going more.
Yeah, because I knew that if I didn't have coffee, I wasn't going to the bathroom. Okay, so in order for me, sometimes I would drink coffee just so I could go to the bathroom. So I would go, 2 days without going to the bathroom. But for me, that was normal. For me, that was like, oh, that's how I've always been, no big deal, blah, blah, blah. And, there would be 3 days where I didn't go to the bathroom. But I literally could feel like I needed to go to the bathroom, but I couldn't go fully to the bathroom, if that made sense, And so as soon as I started taking the Plexus, I was going to the bathroom. But I was drinking water too with my Plexus. So I was urinating more. I was going to, and I was like, something's not right. Like, why am I going to the bathroom? Right. And so, again, I was texting my sponsor, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to the bathroom way too much. And she's like, you're supposed to.
That's normal, right? Because
she's like, you're supposed to be 3 or 4 bowel movements a day. And I was like, oh, girl, I'm lucky if I even have one. Like, and listen, it was working. It was literally like I was eating, I was going to the bathroom, and then I was like, oh, there goes mom going to the bathroom. Oh, there goes mom going to the bathroom. But I was taking, I didn't care where I was doing my thing. And I want to say within 2 months, I started noticing my energy levels were changing. My pants were getting looser. My skin, I want to say the first thing that my skin healed, because I had a patch behind my ear, that instantly went away. Instantly. And I was like, oh, I'm not scratching anymore,
Wow.
And so within 3 months taking it in, I was sleeping better. My pain wasn't as bad. When I would sleep, if I laid a certain way, because I have adhesions, I would feel the tug and the pain would hurt. So I had to always put a pillow between my leg, because just sleeping sideways, the pain will hurt my ovary. And it would irritate it. Well, I wasn't doing that anymore.
Wow. So was the endometriosis on your ovaries?
Mm-hmm. I had, and I probably still do, but when I had a hysterectomy, I had it spread all over. I had it on my bladder. I had it on a uterus. I had it inside and outside. And I had it other parts in my intestines as well. So I had it sporadically throughout my whole stomach area. Yes.
Wow. So like where is it like now? What is it like now? I know
Well,
you
right
said you're
now I
feeling
have
better.
both. On the last since been taking Plexus, I have not been be able. I had don't need to go to my OBGYN. So, and normally when I do, they give me CT scans or ultrasounds to just kind of see, or they'll say I need a surgery or whatever. But I haven't been needing to go because I don't
Wow.
have the pain that I used to anymore. So I usually I
Uh-oh.
oh
Well, I don't know what happened, but we're gonna keep on. We heard the
oh
pain.
oh
I don't know what happened.
um
It's okay, we're gonna
but
rock with it.
I haven't been needing to go. So, I don't know where things stand at this point. But I do know that my inflammation is down and my pain have subsided. Don't get me wrong, there's times where I have moments where I have a little bit more inflammation. But I double up on my plexus and I'm good to go.
Right. Do you notice? I am so happy for you that you have had that relief, but do you notice that your inflammation is maybe higher when you eat foods and drink things that causes that inflammation and not just you clean eating or keeping on your routine?
Yes. So when I was prior to plexus, I was a wino. I loved wine. Um,
Same, same. Oh my
I
gosh.
loved
No.
a good glass of wine. Like I was a wino snob, and it wasn't just I would drink pretty good bottles of wine. Like it was a thing for me. Little did I know when I started plexus, I started learning the things that were agitating me. And the first things that I noticed while taking plexus and I was drinking wine, I noticed more inflammation take drinking wine. And I knew right away that very moment that the wine was not helping me. It was triggering
Mm,
inflammation some more. So
mhm.
sadly, I stopped drinking wine. I literally stopped drinking wine and I felt so much better because it was just something about plexus, the things that I would eat, my body would be like, I would just
Well,
feel a
it's
certain way.
yeah, it's your taste buds, like when you're healing your gut, I noticed that too. Like your taste buds change. And when you have that detox and when you start really healing your gut, and I mean like the root of it, which is what plexus does, um, you're not going to have those cravings because some things that I can have something sweet now and it's like super sweet
Yes.
because my taste buds have changed because I have rid my body of candida and the yeast and all the other things that are going on inside. So I I want to say I came in on like the second year, like you started like your journey. Um, but just you from then to now, like you've even lost more weight. Not that it's intentional, but you do work out and you do have a healthy lifestyle. You eat right. But I've seen your before pictures, your before plexus pictures, and girl, like so real quick, because everyone does not know what gut health is. So I feel like it's an obligation to tell the people what it is. So basically, it's a balance of bacteria in your digestive tract. It's your small, your large intestines, and your stomach, right? And when you have a healthy gut, it supports your digestion and your immunity. Like because right, 80% of your immune system is in your gut health, in your gut system, in your gut. And so when you take care of your overall health and your well-being, your gut is healthy, you're in a good place because an unhealthy gut can cause and lead to a variety of illness and disease and stuff like that. It really is it's the root. Your gut is considered your second brain, right? And so they're locked in for life. I tell people like the gut and the brain are locked in for life. If you ever had a feeling, I'm going to explain to you how, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh. So you ever had a feeling, you had some news, or you had people say a gut feeling, but it really is a gut feeling, and you instantly feel like you have to poop. Like it can be kind of news and it can make you nervous, and the first thing you want to do is have a bowel movement. That's because they send signals to each other like something going on, let's get rid of it. Like it's like that fight or flight thing. So just remember that your gut and your brain are locked in, and gut health is so super duper important. And this is why I love what I do, and I'm sure Cassia, this is why you love what you do, because we get to really educate and teach people on the importance of gut health. Gosh, Kesia, were you on medicine and stuff, like a lot of meds before Plexus?
I was. I was put on antibiotics. I was put on steroid creams. I was also put on birth control pills. You name every single birth control pill, I probably took it all. I've been put on pain medication. Yeah.
For the endometriosis?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So they're just trying to give you some relief. Like you had birth control after a hysterectomy?
Mm-hmm. Even after I had a hysterectomy, I was put on birth control pills. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why?
Because I still have my ovaries. I still, when that happens, the inflammation still stirs up, and so supposedly when you take the birth control pills, it kind of suppresses those hormones, so it doesn't elevate the inflammation, basically. And so when I ovulate, it would stir more adhesions, and it would cause more inflammation into my body. So I would take those. I would skip those placebo pills and just continue on taking it.
Wow.
That's what they had me on, is taking the birth control pills, skipping the placebo pills, and just continue taking those hormone pills. Wow. And I did that for many, many, many years. I mean, I've had this condition. I was diagnosed with this. So Kayla is 26. I want to say, how old was she? I want to say I was 22 when I got diagnosed. Actually, at that time when I was diagnosed, they didn't know that's what it was called. She didn't know. Nobody knew what, endometriosis was. Nobody knew at that time what I had. It wasn't until years later, until I had my son, things were starting to come up with OBGYNs, what it was called. And then they gave it a name. And when I had my first surgery, that's when I was diagnosed with it. So yeah, so I've had it basically since I was 23 years old, and it just progressively throughout the years as I got pregnant, it stirred more issues. Luckily for me, a blessing, I was able to get pregnant, because some women are not able to have children because of it. And I was able to get pregnant, but I had high risk pregnancies because of it. So with Kayla, I had a normal pregnancy, and then my last 3, well, I miscarried because of that, but my last 2, those were high risk pregnancies.
Right. Wow. And you're absolutely right. Some women are not able to, and that, that's just a whole nother topic for another day. And it's just really, really sad. Kesia, what were some of the signs that you had, or you not knowing that you had endometriosis? But what are some of the signs that you were having? So if someone, excuse me, may not know that they have it, or may know, and then I'm going to share a little story with you guys. What are some things that you noticed that made you go to the doctor and say, hey, check this out?
Stomach pains. Stomach pains. For me, it was stomach pains. The cramps were so bad to the point where I remember hudging over so badly till the cramp went away so I could stand back up. So it was having really heavy periods to the point where I couldn't really use certain things because it hurt so bad. So it was painful. Mine was very, very painful. My stomach area was tender to touch. And they thought I had appendicitis, actually, and it wasn't appendicitis. So I'm just saying, like, it could feel like you were having that kind of a type of pain. That's how it kind of feels like. It's like that severe hunch over pain.
Wow.
That was the first sign for me, is extremely worst cramps that you could possibly think of.
Almost like childbirth. Almost.
And imagine having that constantly. So I lived with pain. I would maybe I got lucky 3 days out of the month that I didn't have any pain. Yes.
That's a lot. And so hearing you say that, what's your pain like now?
Gosh, I'd be like, if I don't even, out of occasionally once in a blue moon, I'll have a little, trigger or whatever, but I don't have that same pain anymore. I don't.
Praise God. So you really think like maybe when you have those, it's again, like maybe you've eaten or drinking something that is just agitating your body.
My hormones are a little bit out of whack. I'm 45 years old. So, it kind of, with your hormones kind of getting a little crazy, your body's going to react. So I have a little bit here and there irritation, but nothing compared to what I had before.
That is amazing. What would you say to a woman that has it? What word of it, what would you say to someone that has it and they're like, okay, I've gone to the doctor and they want to put me on X, Y, and Z, and I don't want to take it, or I'm taking it and I feel like crap. What advice? Well, we have to err on the side of caution. What advice would you give a woman, knowing with your experience, knowing what you know now? How would you encourage them to handle that situation?
Listen, first of all, we're not medical doctors. So if your doctor is telling you that, they're referring to whatever medications, to each their own, you have your free will. You also have your free will to make a decision what's best for you. You could politely say no, thank you. But I would say you're putting a Band-Aid. If you choose to do something like that, you're not getting to the root cause of it. If you want to go somewhere, like say, for instance, you don't want to take that, right? I literally would say give Plexus a try. And when I mean a try, I mean like give it your hardcore try, because it's the most safest, holistic, cleanest thing you could possibly do. And it's just gut health. That's all it is.
It's plant-based. It's plant-based, soy-free, GMO-free, gluten-free. Like it's clean. Like you ain't gonna get any cleaner.
Mind explosive. Like, listen, if I told you stories about my family and my daughters who, have the same issues as I do, it's mind blowing that just gut health, just taking care of your gut, how tremendously your health improves.
So back up a second. So this is her hereditary thing? You said your daughters?
Yes, it is unfortunately hereditary. I don't even know if I said that word right, but it is. I actually passed that on to my oldest and to my baby. And so as a preventative, my 14-year-old is on Plexus, because I do not want her she was starting to have signs of that. And I put her right away on Plexus. Luckily, she's a tea person and Plexus came out with the tea, and that's what she takes.
That's good, but you there's something for everyone. Listen, it's literally something for everybody. Like
there is. And she's been on it, and let me tell you, it's been amazing. And my oldest, who is 25 years old, who's started the same way as me, who got on birth control pills since she was a teenager, and metformin since she was a teenager. And I was like, no more. And I could happily say she is not in neither of those things now. She is taking Plexus, and we're walking in that journey together. But I mean, she has a whole different testimony for me just to go on, but it's just improved her health as well too.
That is, Kesia. Do you see like it really? So because of your husband, the whole family's blessed. Mm-hmm. Like when you really look at the grand scheme of things, and really how God like used him to serve the women in his life. Mm-hmm. That I'm getting emotional thinking about it.
Yes, and all because of just hey, try this. Like, hey, what do you have?
And you wanted to prove him wrong, and You didn't.
And I was really like, I literally wasn't thinking that this was going to take me where I am today.
Yeah.
And I think majority of us a lot of us speak that way. A lot of you are like, we didn't know where we were going to get here, but here we are. Like,
yeah, downplay it. Yeah, that's why I always say your confession is your possession, and you really have to just really speak positively. And power of life and death are in the tongue, and what you release is what you shall receive. So have to be very mindful what you release into the atmosphere, especially when you're speaking over your own life. So yeah, that's just that, just keep that in mind, y'all. But you said something earlier too, Kesia, about eczema. So I know we're talking about your endometriosis, but I've also been following your journey with your Kesia, with your eczema. And when we were on the cruise, you were detoxing so bad, and the way that your hands were looking, and just knowing what they looked like then to now, because I witnessed it. It's amazing, guys. And if you have eczema, you really should be giving Plexus a try, because it's a gut thing. It's candida, guys. It's yeast. It's yeast.
Listen, my hands. These are my hands now. My hands.
Those not the same hands. Those are not the same hands I meant.
The same hands. They're not. But I will say this. I know. Let's go back a little bit. So anyone who wants to just give it a try, give it a try. Give Plexus a try. But be patient with yourself, because this is where I'm going to go in with this eczema thing. The eczema took me a while. Okay. Even though the pain was subsiding, I was feeling better. My skin was still, my back of my ear healed, but for some reason, my hands were taking longer, right? So I didn't give up. I was hopeful that I just needed to stick with it, and I needed to be patient with myself, and I needed to also do my work. I also needed to, have a cleaner, healthier lifestyle. I needed to eliminate certain things. I needed to learn what I was putting into my body, lotions, all those things. I had to educate myself, and I needed to be patient with myself. And it wasn't until when I met you, Natasha, my hands were at the worst they had ever been.
Wow.
And that time I had switched because I was taking the regular microbiome when I first started. And that was the first time I actually tried the hunger control.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a whole different, I was detoxing all over again, but it was a different type of detoxing, right?
It seems like you like doing these things when you go on trips.
But I had done new stuff. I know, and I had done the reset before, so that was the first time me ever doing the reset. So I had done that, and I had started the hunger control. So those were the two new things I tried before getting onto the ship. Mm-hmm. And when I did those two things, my body was it was reacting. Now, I could have been timid, and I could have said, I'm stopping. But I knew that because I was starting something new, I was detoxing, and my body was reacting to something. So I had to stick with it. I had the pain, the itchiness, the burningness. You saw it, the cracking. I dealt with it.
It looked painful. I can just imagine what you were going through, because oh my God, it looked like you wrapped your hands and fingers in like plastic and just let them go numb. Like that's how they're purple. They weren't even red. They were like purplish.
Yes.
And they looked like they hurt. Yeah.
They hurt, they ached, and I couldn't even enjoy the ocean because the ocean would sting them. So going into the spa, I would have to take my hand out. Like I literally trust me.
You couldn't do this. You couldn't make a fist because you couldn't make a fist because
it would crack. It would crack. And so
wow, Kesia.
Listen,
you are a true
resets.
Yeah, you are a true testimony. I don't think I've met anyone like know anyone. I know people that have had the candida overgrowth, but to actually see it and then see it coming out like it was with you, it's wild. So back to the endometriosis, guys. So I don't know if any of you have, well, that's the new people and the ones that have been following, but I put a lot of things in my stories. And last Tuesday, I went for 46 here, just preventative stuff. I went for my first colonoscopy, and just Wednesday, they called me. Everything was fine. There was they did remove a polyp while they were in there, and they called me Wednesday, and they were like, everything's fine. There was nothing with the polyp. However, you have what's called endometriosis. And I was like, what? I don't even have a uterus. I said, I had a hysterectomy when I was 33. I'm 46. What do you mean I had this? I was like, what do you mean I got this? And I was just like processing. I called Kesia and we were talking. And I didn't know that it would spread, like the cells would spread to different parts of your body. And that's what it is. In that polyp, there was a cell that indicated that I have endometriosis. And so talking to Kesia, we were talking and she was like, oh, man, it can spread. The cells can go here, there, and everywhere. So I would like to attribute that it was not as bad, because I have also been on my gut health journey for the last 3 years. I have been taking Plexus. So before it got out of control, I was in control of it. And so I will not be stopping my supplements. I will not stop taking my Plexus now, because one and two things. If I didn't go, I wouldn't know that polyp was there. It was 2 centimeters. It was very small. And if I wasn't on Plexus, it could have kept growing. God knows what into what. I don't want to find out, right? So here I am on the same journey as Kesia. And I want to tell you, you don't meet people by accident. And so, like I said tonight, I said, I'm going to share that with the people tonight, because I am very transparent. If you guys follow me for any length of time, I have been sharing my journey with people since 2018. My menopause journey, my hysterectomy journey, my health and wellness journey. I've just been an open book, like open. And so I too am in the endometriosis club. It's not one I picked, but I tell you what, I will continue my healthy lifestyle. And now it makes me want to even like kick it up a notch. So I feel like I had a good hold of it and a grip on it, because I have been diligently taking care of my gut health.
Let me tell you something that I forgot to tell you yesterday. They might have found that cell, right? But because you were taking Plexus, you also could have dormanted it from spreading other areas. So if you just had it there, that's great. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm just going to say, I'm glad they found what they found, but it could have been far worse. But because you were taking Plexus and you were eliminating that inflammation, because that's what triggers the endometriosis, is inflammation. Okay. Inflammation in your body in any type of way triggers everything. And so because you have been taking care of your gut health and you've been taking Plexus consistently, you've been dormanting that. And I speak of that because my pain has subsided. So I notice that my inflammation has come down. It's when it goes up, is when this starts to spread and it starts to attack your body. But because we're eliminating that inflammation from getting higher, it's going to be suppressed. It's going to be, and eventually it's going to be dormant. It's going to be gone.
Praise the Lord. And we speak that thing. We speak it in Jesus' name, don't we? Speak, sister. So I totally agree. Like, because I'm like, again, like, what do you mean? But I will tell you, I don't feel like I was having any symptoms, but I still have my ovaries from my hysterectomy and I still have my tubes, right? So I would get like bloated. Like I was constantly bloated. And it was just getting like harder to lose my minnow belly, but that's a whole nother thing. But the bloating to me, I had lost so much inflammation, guys. If you go follow me on my socials, you will see that I was like, just with inflammation, I am almost the same weight as I was when I was highly inflamed. Like I had chronic inflammation, but I looked like I lost so much weight because I lost the inflammation. And let me tell you something about inflammation. Inflammation is a silent killer. Inflammation is in your body to protect, right? But too much of it can wreak havoc on your body. Like it is bad for you. Like it will snuff you out on internally. So that's why it's really important to get a grip on it. And some people are just like, oh, I just got the baby fit and the chunky cheeks. No, that's it. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, that's inflammation.
It's so being in this business and learning about gut health, learning about all those things, how many women I could diagnose instantly who has inflammation. I'm like, you got inflammation. You got
the eyes tell the truth. The eyes are the first indicator. Like the eyes aren't open. They look like you're squinting and your cheeks are super puffy. Like your whole face looks like you just got stung by bees.
Instantly, I can see someone's picture and be like, oh, I see.
Highly inflamed. Yeah. Highly inflamed.
Yes.
That was me. That was me. And I look at my pictures and I'm like,
oh yeah, me too. I you know that you brought me when you talked about bloating. You backtrack a little bit about bloating. Yeah. Bloating was a huge factor with endometriosis. The bloating was so bad that it made me look like I was 3 months pregnant. Yes, the bloating. Mm-hmm. I think I hardly ever get bloated. Occasionally here and there I'll get bloated. But girl, I do not miss getting bloated.
Now, well, I'm working on that now, and I feel, and I'm really hoping that them removing it, that cell, that will really help me with it also. So I'm just very encouraged by the whole thing, and I'm just like, okay, God, it's just another thing, for me to help other people out with, and so this is another, add to my cross, right? Gotta bear it, but it's not the end all be all. But guys, Kesia, do you have a word of encouragement for the ladies? I love how you said earlier, give yourself grace, like be gentle with yourself. You have to give yourself grace, lots of it, like so much grace. Be gentle with yourself. Don't quit. So many people want microwave. We live in a society where you can just pull up and get your food. You can get stuff delivered to your house. Everything's fast. Listen, this is not a 2-day prime situation, okay? That body that you seek, the health that you seek, it's not coming in 2 days. It takes time. And I'll tell you, Kesia, my first year on the Plexus, I was on, off. And I feel like that's the journey with a lot of people. When I got serious that second year 2, I was consistent. I haven't missed a day since. And so I know what that's like, but I didn't quit. And now I won't quit because I see the result. I feel the result. I'm 46 and I feel more energetic and alive now than I did when I was younger, chasing around 3 little babies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I totally agree with you. I honestly, if I always say to myself, if I would have given up on myself, because I could have easily and said, I can't do this. I don't want to do this, and find every excuse out there. But because I was so desperate just to feel better, just so I cannot have any more pain, I did not want to go there again. Yeah. And that is my motivator to this day. It's like, I cannot afford to not miss. If I do miss and life gets busy, I take it in the afternoon. I don't care. Because I know, I mean, this would kind of change the subject, but I went to Punta Cana and I went bloated. And there is a picture where I missed, I think it was 48 hours of not taking it.
I remember that too.
And that kicked my butt. And I said, never again. I'm never again. And so I am just really rigid of taking Plexus, and it's a part of me. It's a part of me. And I stand 110% on it. And I just say, don't give up. Don't give up, because I'm 2 years in and I feel way better than I felt when I first started.
Absolutely.
And it's just going to get better from here on out. I mean, I'm 45 years old and people are like, you're 45? Yeah, I'm 45.
I get that too, girl. Like, you 46? You got a 28-year-old and a grandkid? Yes.
Yeah. And I'm
yes,
like,
I do.
Like, you don't look it. Well,
baby, because she got her life together.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm just, it's the inflammation. And, plexus
It ages you.
reverse.
It ages you. Yeah.
It does. Like, there's no need for Botox, plastic surgery, or anything like that. Listen, all natural. I ain't got my lashes, but that's me. I love my lashes.
Same.
Praise. But listen, hey, the best compliment I could get, you don't look 45. Well, thank you. All gut health. Yeah. All natural.
All gut health. People are like, oh, you don't wear makeup? No, I don't, guys. This is natural glow. This is just vitamin E oil on my skin. I haven't worn makeup. I wore it last year because I had an event. But since I've been on Plexus, and I never had like skin issues.
You have beautiful skin. You have beautiful, flawless skin. And I will say this, I do wear makeup, okay, but I don't wear as much as I used to. But my melasma, now being Hispanic, melasma, and having these hormone imbalances, my melasma on my face was always really, really bad. I would have it on my forehead, on my cheeks. Like, it would really bad.
Yeah.
I must say, taking Plexus, taking my collagen, doing their skin line has diminished it.
What?
I have
melasma. I have.
It has diminished. Even my face girl would say, because I get my facials, and she's like, your skin looks really good. Well,
that's awesome. That listen, guys. Plexus is the plug for real. We got the plug. And gut health. It's what you need. So it's that missing piece. If you've been on a health and wellness journey, or if you want to get started, if Kesia invited you here, please get with Kesia and go ahead and get started. Don't wait. You can be feeling this like in 30, 60, 90 days, you can be feeling better. If I invited you here, get with me. Like, don't wait. Don't put your health on hold. Don't keep watching us. Have your own story so you can share with people, so you can feel like we feel too. I'm telling you, the greatest wealth is health. And you can have all the money and all the things in the world, but if your health is poor, what good is it? Because you can't even enjoy it if you're not feeling good in your body. So Kesia, I appreciate you so much. If anyone's on and have questions, please feel free to ask. If you don't have any questions and you would like to keep in touch with me, please feel free to like and subscribe and share my channel out. I appreciate you guys being here and helping me grow my community here on YouTube. Also, right now, if you like, you can follow me on Facebook. I have a private Facebook group called Be Free Society. If you're interested in any of my apparel, please go to girl2.com, girl2collection.com, and shop away. The apparel line is created for the sassy boss girls who love God.
I'm going to get mine.
It's coming. And thank you for your order. Thank you for your support. Thank you. And if you guys want to keep in touch with Kesia, if you have questions for her, please reach out to her in her inbox. Kesia has an amazing private Facebook group called Health and Wellness Era. She goes live. She teaches all about gut health and life, and she loves Jesus, and so she gives words of encouragement and stuff like that. So please go on over there and follow Kesia in her group. I believe you'll have a good time in there. Lots of gems. And Kesia is just an amazing person. You just really want to be connected to her. And in closing, I just want to say thank you guys for rocking with us tonight. If you have any questions, again, reach out to myself or Kesia or the both of us. You guys have a great weekend. I love you. I thank you for being here, and thank you for your time. And Kesia, anything else?
No, just thank you for having me. It was such a privilege.
All right. Oh, you are so welcome. We're gonna go now and talk to y'all later. Love you.